Welcome back to Designsmith. In this video, I'm going to see if I can make Times New Roman look good on a Swiss design poster. Before we get started, please subscribe to support the channel. Alright, I've got my Swiss grid layout right here, and somebody actually said that I should do a landscape poster instead of a portrait poster, so let's do that. Alright, the first thing I need to do is make sure that all of my guides are unlocked, so we're going to go up here to View, Guides, and since Lock Guides is showing, that means that our guides are unlocked. So I'm going to select everything, I'm going to hit copy, and now we're going to go in here to this document, which is 24 by 18 inches, and I'm going to paste it. And the first thing I'm going to do is group everything together so it's all one unit, and let's horizontal align center and vertical align center, and then I'm going to hit R on my keyboard, and that's going to bring up our rotation window, and we're going to rotate it to 90 degrees. Alright, and now let's go up here to View, Guides, and Lock Guides. So everything is in place there, and we have our exact same guide layout, but it's for landscape instead of portrait. Alright, so one thing I'd like to do is work backwards. I'd like to lay down some shapes first before I lay down any of my type. And since it's still Harry Potter season in the house, I think I'll go with Honeyduke's Candy Shop. I found this color palette right here, so let's go ahead and lay down some swatches. Alright, so when I think about candy and candy pieces and everything like that, I imagine all kinds of different shapes, so circles and rounded squares, triangles, things like that. And so I want to do a blend of different kinds of shapes, and this may actually end up resembling more of a Bauhaus poster than a Swiss poster, but that's totally fine since Swiss was born out of Bauhaus anyway. Alright, so I'm just going to draw a rectangle here in this section right here, and we're going to keep to the interior of those gutters because the whole point of those gutters is to create margin in between your areas. And basically what I'm doing is I'm just going to lay down some random shapes just kind of here and there, all based on our grid system. So let's create a triangle. I'm going to anchor this down to that guide right there, and then we're going to adapt that to that side. And then I'm just going to duplicate these and just kind of put them in random spots. Let's do something a little different and rotate the triangle. Put it like right around here. Then another thing that we can do is go in here and play with the scaling. So I'm going to hit S on my keyboard, and we're going to bring that down to 50%. And we can just kind of do the same thing with a lot of these other shapes here. And then we'll do the same thing with these squares. Let's put one right here in this spot. Bring it down 50% and align it to that guide right there. What we're aiming for here is just abstract pieces of candy. We'll put one right here on that side, and let's bring it over here to kind of give some balance here. All right, let's take a look at everything without the grid lines, and everything is looking really nice and balanced. One thing that I'll probably do is put a circle up here just to kind of give it a little bit more weight. And I think what I'll do here is rotate this triangle right here so that we've got two of them pointing up and maybe one pointing down. And now since these pieces are supposed to represent candy, I'm going to select all of them, and I'm going to hit A on my keyboard, and we're just going to bring the corners up to 1/8 of an inch. It gives the squares and the triangles rounded corners. It just gives it more of that candy-like look. Alright, now I'm just going to select a few of these pieces right here, maybe like 3 or 4 of them, and we'll change the color on them. And then let's do the same thing again here, and we'll color drop that yellow. And let's go ahead and put a background down. And what I'm thinking is that we'll do that brown right there. That is actually looking really cool. And I think we'll use this lighter gold right here for the typography. Alright, now let's lay down our type, and I'm going to type out Honeyduke's. And let's color drop on this right here. And let's change this to Times New Roman. And you know, honestly, it doesn't look all that bad. Let's go in here and see if we can fix this with kerning. I think this is probably a good section to start with, so let's put it right there. And let's align our type to that guideline right there. And now let's go ahead and kern this. Okay, that's not too bad right there. In fact, if you were to see this kerning job right here, you may not even suspect that it's Times New Roman. It's not like Comic Sans where it's pretty much the only font that looks like that. Let's bring up our grid lines again, and let's just kind of play around with some different layouts. I kind of like this right here, but I don't really want it to be so close to those circles right there because you don't want this to ever look like it's a mistake. You want to make sure that it looks very intentional. And right here, there's a good amount of spacing between those two elements right there. You know, one thing that we could do is just duplicate the type and just have them at various sizes. All right, and I think we'll do one more kind of in this section. I feel like it's a little imbalanced here in this area. We'll bring up here to this guideline. And it is slightly overlapping right here, so it's not the best scenario, but I think it's fine. You know what? What if we bring it down here instead? Okay, I definitely like that better. And now I'm going to duplicate some type down here in this area. And let's put in Hogsmeade 1641. We'll say established 1641. And we'll bring this down to 30 points. And I think I'll align this right here with this grid line. And we'll align it to the right, which is going to throw the type over there because Illustrator is stupid. And now we can go in here and do our kerning. All right, let's try moving this over here. I just want to see what it looks like. Okay, I think I like it better right there in that spot right there. All right, and here's our landscape Swiss design poster for Honeydukes from Harry Potter using Times New Roman as our main typeface. Well, really as our only typeface. And I think that just in terms of appearance, this is definitely the best looking poster that we've designed, not using Helvetica. Times New Roman isn't necessarily the worst font ever made, it's just very widely used. But just like Comic Sans, the default kerning is really bad. So really all that it takes to make this look good is just adjusting the kerning and making sure that your sizing looks good. And I like the overall concept of what we have here. You could definitely do a lot with this if you were to take it even further. But I think that what we have here is really nice, and the colors alone are making me really hungry for some candy. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe, and click the bell for notifications to be notified of all future videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.